to our party.
Away.
Hey, guys, speaking of which, we are live. I am with Camel Moon. Do you go by any other name that I kind of like should probably know by now?
I don't know. I mean, maybe nothing that I can.
Camel it is. Camel it is. All right, we got Camel Moon with us. We're talking about Hail Salad, but we're also talking about animation and how he got into it and kind of develop that skill. I was just actually telling him that to me, it's like animation's like magic. You know, I've made comics before, cannot draw, but I kind of understand the process. Animation, it just looks like it's magic. And of course, your stuff is really fun and funny. And everybody was really excited when you were like, yeah, I am going to make a campaign. And
oh, yeah.
The campaign has done well and it's still going. So let's just start with, let's talk about first of all, the campaign has done really well. You're at 47,000, but this campaign can definitely do more because I'm looking at where you're at from where it closed at 44,000 in September. And now it's January. No question, this campaign can definitely still have some good life in it. So tell me what, Hail Salad's about. Very Comicsgate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to bore people. I think most people know about how the origin, right, with the Space Ghost thing.
You started with using Space Ghost characters, and then you assigned. Well, did you didn't have the Cecil characters and the Ethan characters?
No, but I knew at some point I was going to drop Space Ghost because I felt like, I don't know. I mean, do I want the thing that I'm known for to be a ripoff of something?
Yeah, a ripoff of Space Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so it's
I did a lot of spoof comics, so yeah, eventually it just gets to be so now I have a bunch of covers by Adam Hughes of characters that are parodies of superheroes that are I wish I had him do my character ideas because I have all this cool stuff. So yeah, you created something completely original, Hail Salad.
Well, I think too, a lot of creators at some point, I've heard Art speak about this too. It's just you spend so much time on other people's stuff.
Yeah, thinking about their work.
I could have been working on my own shit, even Sean Gordon Murphy was saying that before his campaign. And, we turned that. It turned out that he probably should have stuck with other people's characters. But, yeah, so I was like, well, let me just try this on my own thing. And I thought at first I was going to have a theme. And then I thought the best theme is going to be just whatever the hell I want it to be. Because as soon as I start, pigeonholing myself and saying, I can't do this, I can't do that. In here I have one of the characters is a Bigfoot. And I was like, can I do that?
Yeah.
Is that too weird? And then I thought, well, of course I can. I want to do,
Yeah, you can. What's funny is I know which character you're talking about. You're talking about a parody of someone who does videos on a former, well, I hate to say it, but probably soon to be former president.
It's over now.
Yeah.
He conceded an hour ago.
Well, I heard the video. I did hear the video, and yeah, it looks like he did. But so all right, it's Doug, and he's a foot. And
or as he's known in the comic, Count Smuggles.
Oh God, I love the voice that Cecil does for Smuggles, his parody of him. Yeah, it just too much genius comes out. That's the cool thing about the streams, and I want to do some hangout streams. I guess they're called chill streams. I don't know what the technical term is, but basically when we're just all hanging out as friends and just talking about fun stuff and goofing on things and
Comicsgate
having a good time. Comicsgate and Chill, exactly.
Maybe I should have a show. That's what it should just be called, Comicsgate and Chill.
Fucking A. That's perfect. Invite me on sometimes on your new famous show. I'd love to be with you.
Super famous, yeah.
Comicsgate and
people watch it.
No, you know what? Don't worry about it. What's really cool about the streams, I like to do these focused campaign streams where we talk about somebody's project because, just as a guy, I started publishing as a kid. So it's I'm always kind of fascinated by other people's projects and what they're doing and, all that. So it's kind of fun to talk about. And sometimes I have a good suggestion, a useful suggestion, sometimes not. But also I think it's very cool to stream and have people really, enjoy you on a personal level. But it's very cool to be able to also sometimes go through a focused project. And they, it's that kind of stream. But the hangout streams are really, really fun and really funny.
Yeah, and I enjoy doing them. I like doing them on Bancroft's show. I like
Mm.
doing them on Shane's show. I
Yeah,
I get kind of weary when there's like more than 5 people on, because then it just becomes like people kind of chomping at the bit to get on mic, and sometimes people voices get drowned out. But if you have a good flow, a good chemistry with everyone on there, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun for the people watching.
yeah. I think I was on with you once, either Shane or Patrick, and you're a great guest. I was listening. I'm like, wow, he's a great guest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I've been podcasting for 5 years,
Oh, okay.
and a lot of people don't know that because, like,
I did not know that.
yeah, I mean, it was just a different channel. There was a lot of movie reviews and
Hmm.
pop culture stuff, but it wasn't Fandom Menace, and it wasn't the kind of stuff that I think more CG people are used to.
Okay.
So it was it was very left leaning, and I started to get really tired of it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I don't
Left-leaning.
really want to get political, but like, yeah, at some point you're just like, how many passes are we going to give a movie just because of our politics? And I
Can't
kind of
give
needed to.
any passes.
I know.
0. Gable Pennyshot. Great to see you again. Hail Gable Pennyshot. Igor, I haven't seen you in a while. Great to see you. Yeah, the Ethan Zach cover is great. The art is really, really great. Joe,
Thank
good
you.
to see you. Hail Joe. Hail
Oh, are
Joe.
we on YouTube?
We are on YouTube. We are on also Periscope, Twitter.
Oh, I thought we were only on Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, we're on both. We're on both.
Oh,
my
very
man.
cool. So, a little inside baseball, but like, what do you stream with to have it on both? Is it like OBS?
Here's how it works. I stream with StreamYard. It's very simple. You pay them their $25 a month,
Sure.
and then you can simultaneously stream on, I think, up to 5 or so places. So
okay.
Even multiple Twitter accounts, which I forgot. I actually have like a College of the Dead account with 1,000 followers on it I haven't been paying attention to. What up, Rankabot? All right, Igor is loaded. It's good to hear. I haven't seen Igor in a while. I like Igor.
Yeah,
I saw him getting into some drama on Twitter. People were like giving him a hard time, whatever it was. Like he's good people. Leave Igor alone.
Out there. I like streaming with the chat on the side so I can interact.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Say what's up, yo.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. The chat is awesome. Without the chat, where would we be? So you just be like you and me hanging out, being like, oh my God, Camel Moon.
Talking to nothing, yeah.
Talking to a guy named Camel. What the fuck is going on? Looking at these freaking crazy ass drawings. Yeah, and when you design characters for Hail Salad, you do not really collaborate with any of the CG personalities, right? You just kind of do your own thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I kind of see this as, I think any artist whenever they're making a thing, that their current project is their magnum opus, So you're just like, this is it. This is the greatest thing I'll ever do. Yeah, and then 5 years goes by, and then you're like, this is it. This is the greatest thing I'll ever do. But right now, I'm enjoying doing this so much, and I think that there's a great consistency to the world if I'm the only one who's working inside of it.
Well, you understand it in ways that other people can't.
Yeah, because I have my own rules in my head. And I'm like, and it might just be like weird little things. Like I can't even name anything right now, but I'm like, I know that this is what this looks like. So I can like kind of draw from my own sort of resources. And I think that like sometimes you get into issues, and I've seen a lot of it in like more modern day, like DC Marvel stuff, where you have these creators come in and they make these characters and they just don't gel with anything. Like I can't imagine this character talking to an established hero of the last 50 years. Because the designs are just so off the wall. I mean, nothing looks consistent. So
yeah, your stuff is like there's all sorts of crazy designs, but it all does feel like it comes from the same place somehow.
Yeah, and it's just actually like very basic character design. So like if you look at how they would design characters like superheroes and stuff, and like let's say like you go to a style guide from the 70s and 80s.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize Anna is a mermaid.
Oh yeah,
I
beat you to it by like 2 months.
You beat me. You beat the hell out of me. Well, I like Anna, so that's cool.
But yeah, like so if you look at like style guides like of like characters from back in the day, like all villains were like purple and green. That was like a thing. So like Joker, Catwoman, Penguin, all purple, and had some, like, even Catwoman had a green cape when she came out.
So it's kind of part of knowing, like, all right, this is a villain.
Yeah, and then so like superheroes usually had primary colors, and that was just like kind of how Batman is blue and yellow, and Superman was red, blue and yellow. Wonder Woman the same thing, and then if Flash was red and yellow, Green Lantern, well, he's secondary. But
this stuff that you're telling me, like, I understand the concept of style guide, but I had never noticed that. I think that's great, and it makes a lot of sense. So I'm learning a lot.
So
already.
what it does is it kind of creates almost like a dog whistle or like some, I don't know if that's the right word, but like people recognize it subconsciously. They don't actually understand.
It's a great aesthetic. It's great.
Yeah. So, and it's easy when you're not really knowing what you're looking at. When you look on the page and you're like, oh, okay, Riddler, green and purple. I get it. He's the bad guy. Two-Face, green, purple, and orange. Right. So, I kind of try to apply that a little bit here, where it's not necessarily color coded by the type of character you are, but like those colors will reappear multiple times within the character itself. So it's like, you take like the Ethan character. Well, he's got purple in certain parts, he's got gray in certain parts, but then like, he has the hologram on his head, but then it all comes full circle because he has the hologram on his shoes. And I think if you approach a lot of design work with that aesthetic, it's almost like a Disney type of design. Then it's actually really easy for the watcher, the viewer, to identify with it and feel like it's a character that they maybe like or understand or whatever.
That's really, really interesting. So, do any of those ground rules in terms of color design aesthetic affect you? Like, do you have villains and heroes based on that?
No, what I decided to do was a little different. I would like, it's actually a greater balance. So it's like, it's almost the Roy G. Biv rainbow. And then when I get to the end of the rainbow, I start again. So like, if you notice, it was a while, like, so the first character I designed was actually Doug, and he was blue. The most recent character I designed was Shane, because I came full circle and needed to do a blue character again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of that. So then if you could imagine that, then actually in a way you could almost predict what the next character is going to be. Like, the next character is orange, because I haven't done an orange character since Kelsey. You won't see him until the next episode. But yeah, that's kind of how I work.
Cool. Yeah, there's no characters I think that people don't love. They love all the characters.
I think that's what's important, right? Because like, try to approach it from like a marketing standpoint. I like the idea of like, I see it as if Ethan's Cyberfrog is the Superman of Comicsgate, and Malen is doing the X-Men. This is the Justice League. This is everyone, the Justice League of Comicsgate, because it's all the characters. Everyone has their favorites, and I think that's why, from a merchandising level, it was able to do as well as it did, because people, watch the cartoon. And they're like, oh, yeah, that'd be really cool if I had like a mini Wanger that I could put on my desk, And,
everybody needs a mini Wanger. How did you think of a dinosaur for Wanger?
The funny thing is that Wanger was actually, he was the original design for John. But I liked the idea of a hologram for a head, and a hologram on top of a Tyrannosaurus that was also a centaur was like too much. Yeah, I don't want to have three things that I'm pulling from. So I was like, I'll just save him for another character. And then, I just kind of like sat on the design.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But definitely a dinosaur was right for Wenger, you thought?
Yeah.
I recognize the hair from the wig, and he does look great in that wig.
I think a lot of times I come from an editing background.
Yeah.
And in editing, it's amazing because you can tell a story, but you don't actually tell the story. The audience tells their own story. So there's this famous editing video that they show all new editors where it's this woman eating soup, and they cut to the bowl of soup, and then they cut back to the woman. She's like crying, and then they cut to the bowl of soup, and then they cut back to the woman, and she's like in love or whatever. And then the audience decides what she's feeling. And it's a really powerful, like, exercise. And I think that a lot of times you input your own assumption as to what that character would be once you start hearing them talk. So like I have a couple of designs. Like I personally didn't think Shane was going to work as a dog, or even the design I made. But once you see him in there, and because you can't compare it to anything, once you start hearing the voice come through, then it almost is like it starts to work for you on a personal level. So it's like, you know, him being a dinosaur might not have mattered too much. I mean, I probably could have made a couple of different things that would have been just as impactful. But it, you know, from an editing standpoint, I think some people just were able to gravitate towards it.
Well, that's really fantastic. So it's really your editing background really guides a lot of the character design development and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things. You know, you got to wear a lot of hats. I remember when I first entered CG, I was just like, you know, I had this idea for Hail Salad, and I was like, all right, I guess what I was worried most about is that I would get like kind of, I wouldn't say ripped off, but like, you know, there would just be a lot of like similar stuff coming out after that. And my wife was just like, no one's going to be able to do all this.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
you know, don't worry. Just make what you need to make, because in the end, you know, if it stands out, you know, whether you want to crib from it or not, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be its own thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this is, there's a lot going on here. This was not Hail Salad when it was the Space Ghost stuff, though, was it?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Were you calling it Hail Salad when you're using the Space Ghost characters?
Oh, no. So, like, what happened was the Space Ghost, I got a cease and desist. They're like, don't do it anymore.
But it wasn't called Hail Salad. What did you call that?
Oh, no. It was, it didn't really even have a name. I think I called it, like, Roast to Roast or something like that. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I called it Hail Salad when I needed to come up with a name for it. Originally, it was going to be called, like, Satan's Trapper Keeper.
What's the significance of Hail Salad?
So salad comes from the word salad, like not the word salad, but I mean like word salad, which is a phrase of people just like talking babble and trying to sound, you know, smart or whatever. The hail is obvious, but then it was also like kind of a play on like Hail Caesar and then Caesar salad, and so I was like, I'll just put the two together. And I have a couple of other properties that I've developed. And what I have found is that when you can come up with a property that has zero Google results, you'll actually perform outstandingly because no one is going to find it. So when I Googled Hail Salad, it wasn't competing with anything. So I see, and I think this is a good, yeah,
it's taking Hail Salad.
Right.
So you can easily be hailsalad.com. And
yeah. And so you don't have to worry about that. And also, you can.
Well, you're giving like fucking master classes tonight. You guys should be listening to what he's saying. I know a lot of stuff. Everything you're saying are things I don't know about, which is great.
Yeah,
thanks for schooling, Camel Moon. Keep it going, bro.
So if you do that, and it's also good too because, you know, I always use like Aqua Teen as a great example. Aqua Teen didn't mean anything. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it sounds kind of stupid the first time you hear it, but then it starts to rattle around in your brain. And I knew when Hail Salad came out and it was kind of met with like a mediocre, tepid response of enthusiasm for the name, I actually knew that it was going to be good because no one had heard anything of it. It's almost like you need to like get used to the idea of it.
Yeah, it's an empty palette, but your unconscious mind will start to fill it in.
And then before you know it, it's like, oh, Hail Salad. Oh, it's a thing. The other thing too, this is a real secret. I don't even know if I should say this, but there are certain phrases. There are certain phrases, not phrases, but like types of words that you can use that will almost guarantee interest. And like usually it's like when you have a consonant, we have two vowels surrounding a consonant. So like the word toilet. I'm trying to. There's a bunch of them, but like if you can create a word that people enjoy saying, like McDonald's, Cougar Melon Camp, even Cyberfrog, right? Then people, because they enjoy saying it, they'll actually seek out to want to say it and bring it up in sentences and stuff like that. So,
what up, Michael Bancroft? Yeah, Michael Bancroft. We're getting schooled by Camel Moon. That's very interesting, and it's a great. These are like great considerations when you're creating something new.
Yeah,
like think about something memorable. Think about a name that you can really own. Think about a name that you can define. Create something that be searchable.
Transformers is fun to say because when you finish saying it, it actually kind of lights up a little part of your brain. It's almost like you get a cookie for finishing it. I used to have a friend, and he was a huge fan of Applebaum, who was a player for the New York Yankees. He would say him all the time, Applebaum this, Applebaum that. He wasn't even a good player.
I like the name.
I said to him, I was like, I think you just like saying the name. And he was like, I think you're right. I was like, yeah, it has nothing to do with him as you know, if you ever watched the movie The Founder,
Yeah.
Mike
Great movie.
is like, you had the name. The name is what sold the burgers, you know? Come up with something original, something you haven't heard before, and that's enjoyable to say. And I think that's a, I'm gonna say you're 50% there, but you got a head start.
Well, it's your foundation. So because if you pick things that are not ideal, it ultimately just creates friction, and then it's not going to do as well. So,
yeah.
So are you inviting people to hit you up on Twitter and be like, what do you think of this name?
Sure.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Send them an invoice.
I'm not guaranteeing any success.
No, you can't guarantee success. But do you think this is a good name? There you go. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll be brutally honest with you. I've had people,
It's kind of you. I mean, it is, because you can waste a lot of time doing things like without the right foundation. It's true.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people contact me, and they're wanting to either help with the cartoon or whatever. And maybe I don't think their art is up to snuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of just saying no, I'm just like, I need to be honest with you. Like, do you, how would I phrase this? Do you think you should be working on this book? Because like I don't want to be a dickhead about it, but at the same time, it's like I still have to have a certain amount of quality.
You have to control the aesthetic and how everything works. And also sometimes though, and this is a good cop out as well, but it's true. Sometimes like stylistically, it's not there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not even just all the time like art, but it's just sometimes people want to help. And it's just like, there's a difference between wanting to help and then actually helping. And I think there's a lot of the sort of love affair of wanting to work. And I've had a lot of friends over the years who they wanted to make a movie, they wanted to write a script. And then 6 years later, they're not even done it yet. And I think that as a sort of like, CG is all entrepreneurial, right? So, and I've told this to a couple of people. I told it to Finatra. I was like, I think you have a lot of talent. I do. I don't think it's going to really work for what I'm doing, quite honestly, but go do your own thing. And I think you'll find some fans. And then he did whatever that first song was. That was amazing, So he had to find his voice. And it's like, don't attach your voice to someone else's, because you're actually doing yourself a disservice.
Very good advice, Camel Moon. Yeah, people have to kind of find their own way. And what's great is with what you're doing on social media, people respond. People will help each other out, but they respond to what they like, and the market will decide. And same thing with doing campaigns. Oh, yeah. And it's also variable by how hard you want to work promoting a campaign. So, there are a lot of variations there.
I think my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. That's what I was going to say.
No, I just think feedback, especially in this industry, is incredibly important. I went to Comic-Con a couple years ago, dropped my portfolio off. Yeah, I heard from nobody. Although I went to New York Comic-Con, which is not really where you're supposed to drop your portfolio off. And, I heard back from one guy. What was it? It was Scout Comics. I don't know.
Oh, we know who's Scout Comics. Yeah, it's a small company.
Yeah, you say that with disdain, but...
Well, the reason it's like there's an editor that works with Scout Comics that Patrick Parnell was a friend of Patrick's, and then they had a falling out. So every Sunday or every other Sunday, Patrick's like, "Well, here's the latest thing that happened." So it comes up sometimes, but they're kind of like one of these guys. They're making comics to turn them into movies, and they're one.
Yeah, and I was like, so I guess they like my stuff enough or whatever.
Yeah,
and I got in touch with whoever I was talking to. I don't know. And they were really nice up until they denied my book. And then getting an answer, getting anything out of them was just pulling teeth. And eventually I was just like, look, man, you were nice up until now. You denied my book. That's fine. But when I asked you what I could change, what I could work on, you ghosted me. And like in this industry, you really shouldn't do that, because like I think about like people like Todd McFarlane, right? dude sent in like I don't even know how many submissions, and he got better because Marvel told him, fix this, change that, do it like this. It's like you are taking on the responsibility of, you know, someone else's career when you are an editor. And if you want that responsibility, then you actually have to wield that power, you know, correctly. It doesn't mean just shutting people out when you don't agree with them. Like, you know, if it's too hot, get out of the kitchen. But like, you know, just because you don't want to be in a position of having to tell someone something that they don't want to hear.
Yeah, and not wasting people's time as much as possible. Like,
right.
As
and
much
it's
as
just
humanly possible. Like, don't have people out doing spec stuff left, right, and center. Like,
Sure.
unless you're really interested in working with that person, you know. And it's little subtle things like that to try to build a relationship. But you're right, Todd McFarlane's floating around out there. All sorts of talents floating around out there.
Just be decent to the people that are in this industry, because like at some point it'll come around, you know. And I mean, shit, what if I like the next day I was like working, because I've seen this happen. Like I knew guys that were like, they'd get kicked off a stream I was on, and then the next day, you know, they would be having their own channel, they'd have 1 million subs, and then everyone that I knew that was on the current stream was trying to get in touch with them. I was like, you kicked them off the stream. You know, what the fuck is this? It's like, you know, it's these 2020 lottery winners that they're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. And I think
it's great to build relationships. I mean, like, I turn around and you're trying to do something. Like right now with the Mermaids, there's Tampa's helping promote it, and he promotes a lot of people. But there have been people that just, they kind of watch out for you, whatever. And then, you know, if you need something, you can always ask them. But you're not going to like always be somebody out there asking people for things.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, the whole thing of being able to have a network and some friends and people to work with, but also to bring talent in. And Comicsgate has been so incredibly generous with me and like asked nothing of me. And I always found like the more that I tried to do, like I can't make miracles happen. I don't have a gigantic platform or anything. But whatever I can do to help somebody. I can help people get some exposure. I know of a few channels. So, you know, even like when somebody new like Andy Smith comes in, he's a great resource for Comicsgate with The First Man. So I had him on, and then I pointed him to a couple of channels. And, you know, people have done stuff like that for me. Simon Sim Poitier and Red Gaze were very early supporters of mine, kind of explained to me how things work. I forgot who threw me in my first like direct or group chat in Twitter, but that's a big part of kind of like building yourself up and understanding how things work.
I agree. In fact, I remember the first tweet that you tweeted at me was after the Camel or the Space Ghost debacle. And you said, we all understand, but we expect great things from you, Camel Moon. Oh, I remember that. And I was like, oh, that was nice. I was like, I don't even know this guy, but he's being supportive. And I think that's
And you know, good. I appreciate that. And you know what? That's all I'm looking for. I'm just looking for, like, I put out what I'm trying to look to get back. And then it comes back around, and it's like, it's amazing how, like, just one tweet is just like, you could be thoughtful for a minute, especially when someone's having a little bit of a fire in their house. It's sort of like, hey, don't worry about it. Like this, and there is always a bright side. So you just kind of like, you push out the bright side. And if you can help somebody, you can. You can't do people think for them. But the thing also, it's sort of like keeping perspective when things are getting messed up, because, you know, you're, you know, a man of the world. You've been around a bit. You know, stuff happens. Yeah, it's really funny because even in Comicsgate, like past Doug, past whatever fallout with Mike Miller, there have been other big, large disruptions in Comicsgate, and you know, having just been around that block, like, I know there are going to be problems, even not just for all of us. It's always going to happen. Yeah. So if we could just kind of look out for each other a little bit when we're doing this thing, especially if it doesn't cost anything. Like, yeah, man, you wonder sometimes, like, you know, why not just do it? For the most part, everybody's like that. Everybody backs each other up, and always having, you know, the expectation that everyone has good intentions. No one in CG, you know, is out trying to hurt anybody.
Right.
And no one in CG is especially selfish. People that leave CG tend to be very self-centered. It seems like they have to be the star without calling out names or whatever. But I'm leaving Comicsgate. It's like, well, whatever. Just you do what you want to do, but then you know who that name is, and you know who those people are.
Like, look, you can do whatever you want. You can leave. But as soon as you turn your exit into a virtue signal, now you're doing it for another reason.
Right. Right. And leave, it's like you don't have to make an announcement of sorts. And sometimes like people get in between projects too, and they just get busy with other things. Yeah. So it's like you could leave and you don't even have to announce it. We're not going to notice. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. It's just like, oh, where has he been? Like, I don't know. I don't think Dan Frega left Comicsgate. He's probably working on a book.
Oh, no. Yeah, he absolutely didn't leave Comicsgate. Yeah. He's all about it. It's just he's working on his book, and he's working on other, I think, what is he doing? Storyboard stuff or whatever, that film industry stuff. And he's a dad. He's taking care of the kids, and he's busy. I think he's also on secret spy missions as well.
He's Jack Bauer.
Yeah, he's very Jack Bowery. So in 24 hours...
We'll know exactly what happened.
Yeah, actually,
he was in Washington yesterday, I heard.
Yeah, there you go.
It was all him.
Mission complete.
Yeah,
mission complete. I gotta grab a hold of Frega and say hi to him. He's always very nice. But he's a great. All right, just a quick side thing on Frega. I love Frega. I mean, I think he's fantastic because he brought just like that, and he was pre-Shane, and Shane is fantastic. Patrick Parnell is a great guy. Frega brought that just sort of extra kind of fun, cool art, creative energy, and also just that like exuding positivity, and not
that's always a plus too. Like you need that.
Yeah, and never the type. He's not a fault finder. He's not like getting cheap thrills off of seeing other people having a hard time. And you never feel like in anything with Frega that he's being sarcastic in a weird way, like you don't really know what he means, or that he's trying to take advantage of you for his benefit or something. So this isn't the Frega show, but yeah, like Corey agrees. He's the best. See, I miss the F out of Cecil. I really miss having Cecil on Twitter. He has such unique. Yeah. Oh, he's so witty and a unique point of view, and well, that can turn around. Hopefully, back.
Just make some sock puppet accounts. Make like 10 and just kind of jump between them all.
Yeah, he could do that. He'll find his way back. He will find his way back. Or I'll have to just watch him on the Jack Show every now and then.
Yeah. But like, as far as people working and not always being around, like once my campaign ended, I went into demand, but once I had to like stop promoting it daily, people didn't hear from me for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I was working, I was drawing. No one's heard from Snogans in a long time, but he's doing his thing. Yeah. It doesn't, just because you're not around daily doesn't mean you're not here.
Yeah, except
in fact, it's better. I don't want to see you every day. I honestly kind of want to know that you're working on the shit that you say.
Yeah, you want to get the book out because people do talk big and stuff like that. Twitter is AIDS, get on Parler, but they can treat that now. I've heard they can treat it. Same with Malen. Yeah, we haven't seen Malen super lately, but he does tweet every now and then, and I'm sure he's working hard. He's on the Jack Show, and thank God he's freaking healthy. Malen is that guy that I know that had COVID. So I talk to people, I'm like,
oh yeah, that's a funny way to put it.
Yeah. Well, I love Malen for like a million reasons. Malen is such a great thing for Comicsgate, so generous with me and reaching out for new people and trying to help people and stuff. Very, very cool. And never like standing on ceremony of like, well, you'll understand when you break 6 figures. It's never that kind of vibe off of him.
That's how you talk to like children.
Oh like, yeah, it's never like
grow
that.
Up,
In fact, I don't think anybody's like that. Well,
I'm like that on Facebook to SJWs.
Okay, that's pretty.
I'm like, I don't really need to hear about like your how the Antifa riots are justified when you're 23 years old and you have no life. Like this is just stop.
Do you find it harder and harder to go on Facebook? I just find it to be like such a grind to be like, all right, yeah, I gotta go on Facebook and check a few of those instant messages.
I won't lie. Like, and on the last website I worked for, I still work for them really, but like, God, I would have anxiety attacks. I would have mini panic attacks every time I saw the little red thing go up. Because I was just like, oh God, what fucking fire do I have to put out now? You know, I was the guy who thought that Black Panther was not a good movie. So, you know, there was.
I mean, you know what? It's so funny. It's like you're not allowed to say Black Panther is not a good movie.
You're not allowed to have a dissenting opinion in certain closed circles.
Is it
so?
Like, did you notice the Star Wars sets in Black Panther, or was it just me? Like, did they not just grab some?
I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to that, but I just felt like there is a social message here, and it's not what you think it is. It's actually probably a lot more racist than you know it is. And there's a scene in that movie where like Chialda Ejiofor, I butchered his name. You know, he makes that is him, right? The guy who plays Black Panther.
Oh, Chadwick Boseman.
It was oh my god!
And he's dead now.
I'll never fucking die. Live that down.
That's
sorry.
Funny. When you try it, like, why can't they just be named like Chuck Smith or something like a knowable name? It's all like, well,
I'll get all the names.
I can't keep track of all the names.
You know, there's a scene where he makes a bunch of money at like the craps table or something. And he leaves.
He has like a James Bond thing, right?
Yeah, he leaves, and then you know, Stan Lee comes in. He's like, "I'll keep all this money for myself." And I was like, I love Stan Lee, but like the commentary on that is very much like us white privileged white guys are just going to take all the money that you're making for us right now. And I kind of felt like there's a lot of like subtlety to it. And I think that if you are approaching that movie, trying to like understand, like it's one of those movies where it's like the wokeness is so racist, they don't even recognize it.
Well, but then their whole angle on that now, and hopefully we'll hear a lot more of it now with a new administration coming in, is that certain colors can't be racist by definition. So it's okay because they're naturally superior because they used to be an underclass, supposedly, etc. So yeah, it's going to be interesting because the whole thing is like, listen, when we do a puzzle, we cut up the pieces and we just jam this stuff in with scissors. So it's going to be nutty. I
had a interesting conversation with Blue Samurai today, actually.
Blue Samurai 0, I think you mean.
Yeah. And my point was, I was just like, I had this funny thought. I was like, you know, if the right wins the culture war, the left would legitimately argue that white men have more practice in debating and articulating points. And once again, you know, women and minorities are behind the 8 ball. Like, that would be their argument. Like, well, you've been debating for, you know, decades or hundreds of years. Like, how are we supposed to articulate what we were thinking logically?
They don't want to articulate. They don't value articulation. It's all by force, and it's all just, you know, emotional screaming, and you just better listen to it. Otherwise, you know, you are a N-word, and, you know, and so on. It's like they don't value any of it. You know, with all of the stuff where like men are women and women are men and they decide this and whatever, and women can be men and men can be women, and everything is kind of like, you know, uniform, that you're just sort of a human being, but this human being is a birthing person and that other one is not. And it's like, if you were going to go to like 1984 and you're going to get to the dystopian future, like this is literally the only way you could do it. So the only way you could do it is with what they're pushing, with their changing of language and their all the dehumanization, all that stuff. It's fascinating. It's like, really, it's just the only way you could do it. And
I wonder though, like,
they've got it nailed.
In a way, it's almost like you have to do it so you could maybe possibly reach more of a utopian society, though.
We need John Malen to tell us what to do. A little bit of John Malen, a little bit of Frege.
Because if you go too far in any direction, right? But then maybe the next 5-10 years will be like, okay, well, that didn't work. You know, like that was all very bad.
We could hope so. Yeah,
but I was talking to someone today, and they were totally, you know, sort of justifying the riots and how it's nothing like what happened. Nothing. This is like night and day. Yesterday was a terrorist attack on the country. And I was like, you know, if you continue down this path, it's just going to be like, you know, sort of Israeli Palestine, right? No one's going to want to take any ownership. There's no accountability anymore. It's just pointing fingers. I was like, as soon as you point fingers, I was like, then nobody is going to be able to come out on top. Nobody wins from a situation like that. And then that's fundamentalism. That's authoritarianism.
Authoritarianism.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know how I just said that word, but
good job. But yeah,
I got
that's what it
lucky
is.
on that one. You were one of the first guys to offer lunch boxes, I have to say, and I'm very impressed and a bit jealous.
I thought it was a good. I thought it worked well with the standees because I was like, it's kind of a kid, like the way I've described the.
Well, your lunch, did you have like a full picture of the lunchbox? I think there's like only a little
so
picture.
If you go all the way up, if you go to the updates, I think it's the second update.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
described it as being something like a play set for adults. So it's like you get your stickers,
cool.
you get like your little toys, you get your comic and your stickers and your shirts and this and that.
This is the picture you're talking about? It's like kind of hidden in there? Or it's...
No. So go all the way up.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I didn't realize you were there. Okay, so go down. Go down some more.
Going down.
Oh, you know what? It's right in between. I think you have to go a little higher. Higher. Yeah, so it's like right there. You have to,
egg salad tier line.
And then read more. It's in there.
Got it. Are these stickers? The Frege sticker? Is that a sticker?
Yeah, that's a sticker.
Oh, it's great looking. That is such cool art.
Yeah, Dax Martian did that. It was spoonerism.
He understands the Kirby look.
Yeah, it was actually kind of fortuitous because I wasn't really sure how I was going to color the inside of the book, but once I saw what he was able to do, I was like, that's a good style because it embodies the style of the comic and the cartoon, but also it's easier for me to do. I can't be doing exterior type colors on 40 pages of interior art from doing it all myself. So
yeah,
it was,
you don't need it to be overly rendered either. Plastic. And also it does look very comic book, so it's sort of like a different medium than the animation. It kind of makes sense that it would be a little different.
Yeah, and I actually like the idea of having different artists do it because I think that almost adds to the credibility and lore of Hail Salad.
Yeah, it definitely adds dimension.
Because
people understand where you're trying to get to. So but they'll have a different process. To create Ethan's character with a sword, they know who he is. You know who he is. And you know that's right, but that wouldn't necessarily have been the way you would have done him. Yeah. Or Kelsey with a Hulk fist or whatever that is. You may not necessarily have done it that way.
His version of Wanger, I thought was amazing, and I never ever would have drawn him like that. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting to see their interpretation. But I think
because they all look they're all sort of activated and angry in that piece.
Yeah, and they're similar, right? What you're looking at. But I think
it's correct. I mean, it's definitely correct to the character. I love Anna kind of flying as a mermaid.
Flying out of the water. Yeah. It's good because I think when you see it, it adds this idea of Hail Salad's been around for 50 years. Mm-hmm. And I think that helps your IP because then it feels there's a sort of established lore there. And as soon as you do that, then it's you can start making stories from whenever, you're just this is this era, this generation of Hail Salad and so on. I should almost make a ridiculous over-the-top Liefeld version.
Perfect.
Where everyone's a cyborg and they have pouches and everything. That would be kind of funny.
Yeah, and guns. That would be great for Frege if he had time.
Hail Salad is it's some type of techno-mechanical font or something.
Definitely. Well, everybody loves 90s and that kind of thing for in CG for sure. This is really cool. Well, let's all right, now I'm on the update page. Let me click on story. Yeah, it's very cool when a lot of thought, a lot of care goes into this stuff, and people can obviously tell. Let's talk tiers.
Yeah, I mean,
the King Park featured.
Yeah, it's in demand. So the majority of the tiers are we only 3, I think. A lot of stuff is still in the shop, after the fact, as add-ons. Not the lunchbox or none of the exclusive tiers, but I think you can get the majority of the standees. I think you can get one of the shirts.
Caesar and the King perk, 48 page. I love 48 pages. Mm-hmm. Obviously, full color prestige format, perfect bound.
Yes,
includes pinups and includes all the covers in the back of the book. That's cool. So all the variants are going to be in the book.
Yeah. So it has all the covers that have been throughout the entire campaign, which is good too, because like sometimes people wanted the art, but they didn't want to spend another $30 on the cover. So I was like, well, okay. And then
I like that a lot, by the way. I don't see people doing that, and I'm very like down with the variants. I don't. Do people tell you that they like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we sold 20 of those. We sold 15 of the Virgin cover. I wanted to create something that didn't feel like you were buying the same thing again. Like they were doing it for a while, about 5 years ago, maybe, I don't know, maybe less, where they would do these like director's books, and it was like, it would be like Batman All-Stars #1, right? They would re-release it, be in black and white, and have a couple extra pages in the end. And it was a way to buy the book again and feel like you weren't really wasting your money. And I didn't want people to feel like if they already had, one of the tiers, one of the issues, and they wanted to get this, they were adding to it instead of replacing it. And I think that worked, right? Because you're getting new art, you get a new cover, and it also has a 4 or 5 page pinup gallery inside of it. So, I mean, it very well could be more than 48 pages. I just put it in there because it was
base. That's the base.
Yeah, it was a base, but like it could be.
I always think when you say like a number plus, and I even did it in the current Mermaids campaign because of we have a lot of pinups that are going to go in there in the making of book. But yeah, I don't really like the plus thing because it always sounds like, well, do you know what project you're doing?
Yeah.
So that's why I try not to do it. I think it kind of weakens the presentation a little bit if it's like, it's 40 plus pages. Like, well, I mean, that's going to be what, 41 and a half? Like, how do you know? You know what I mean? Because you kind of need to know how many pages it's going to be. And I really think it's great. Like, I know Phil did this for Zaid Comics for his project. He was adding extra pages as he made stretch goals. That stuff, I still don't do that because it makes me a little nervous, even though I have, in most cases, some extra content. Just to be like overly crazy careful, because sometimes people get carried away when they promise additional pages when they hit a certain stretch goal, and then it's like all this extra crazy work. But if you just surprise people with it, then that's ideal.
Well, I'm kind of in your boat a little bit now because there's right now the book is 32 pages of story. But it'll hit 40 pages of story once we hit 50,000, but that's still about $2,200 away. So I'm kind of like, I really hope we hit that because, like, I really don't want to take 8 pages out because you kind of need them to finish.
If you have to ship it, you ship it, and people are going to be thrilled with what they get. I'm doing some extra stuff now for the Mermaids comic. We're doing my production designer, JJ Jackson, is also a cartographer. Like, you make maps? She's like, yeah, I used to make maps for all the. I'm like, we should make a map of the mermaid world, and we're going to do. I'm like, great, let's do it. So it wasn't part of the campaign, but it's just be like some extra cool stuff you can put in. People really just notice that one little or two extra thing, and they really love it.
Yeah.
Very cool. So 48 pages, full color. All the variant covers will be pinups inside the book.
All the variant covers. Yes, correct.
Okay. So then you get the covers you get the art for the covers no matter what. If you want the separate cover, then you buy the variant.
Yeah. And then that right there, that print there on the side, it has my autograph on it. That is the back cover of the Prestige book.
Very cool.
But it's also a print. So you
love Charlie's work too, by the way. It's great to see him finally doing like this nice big full book with Clint.
Oh yeah. So that's the Fatal book. I'll be coloring that.
Oh yeah, they mentioned you the other day. Clint was saying about how he's scheduling it for July. He hopes it can ship sooner.
Yeah.
Some delays with Charlie, but that he found that you can color. And he was just like blown away by how great your coloring was, and that you can do that same style.
Originally, he had asked me if I could do it. Like, I don't really have time. I mean, like, I want to, I'd love to, but actually, that's not even true. I'm lying. I asked if I could do it.
No, okay.
Yeah. So
backwards. Yeah. So these girls, they keep asking me out, and I keep saying no. It's like, well, isn't it more like you keep asking them out?
Yeah. She just kept calling.
No, even worse than that. It's like you want to ask them out. Don't ask them out, then nothing actually happens. No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So I asked them, and they were like, "Can you color?" And
I know that Clint is thrilled that you can do what Charlie, because what Charlie was doing was very unique with the coloring.
Yeah. So they wanted me to do like a audition piece, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine with it." And then I just actually had to pull out. I was like, I know I offered all this, but like I don't want to take off more than I could chew. And this was like a week before I launched the campaign for Hail Salad. I was like, I just don't think I could do it. Like I still have a trailer to make. I have 2 episodes to make. I have a book and this. I was like,
oh, excuses. Corey's good.
Yeah. So then when I ended up having to color the cover, for Hail Salad, and then Clint was like, "Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good. That's I guess what we need." So we had a quick convo, and I said I'd do it.
Yeah, and it really helps as a publisher to kind of diversify the source of production, as long as it doesn't damage the quality of the project. Because getting a book 99% done, it's still not done.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and that extra 1% at the end, like something is happening and holidays come and go, and then people have personal tragedies. It's all just normal. It's just normal stuff.
That's life. Yeah.
Yeah. If you expect there to be problems, like you're going to do good, because there's always problems. So you got a Snogan cover, you got a gold print, and you've got a Shane sticker.
Yeah.
Shane probably never realized there would be stickers based on him.
I mean, at this point, if you're going to be a name in CG, just expect it. You're going to end up.
Yeah, you're going to be a sticker. You're going to be a sticker one day.
I mean, what you don't want to be is the Donnie Cates sticker, I think.
That was great.
I remember asking my wife about that. I was like, imagine you're Donnie Cates, and like someone puts you in a cartoon, and then they sell a sticker of you as a goat with your like area out. Talking about spiraling at people.
Somehow it really suits him, though.
How would you feel about that? She goes, I would hate you for the rest of my life. I'm like, all right.
So now you know. You asked, and now you know.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of people got the Newsstand cover edition.
Yeah, that was, that has been that tier since launch.
So you had it as a newsprint initially.
I don't think it does it say newsprint? I think I just
the art says Newsstand cover edition.
Yeah, Newsstand is just like
I read it as newsprint.
Yeah,
because it's really funny. I forgot who I had on the other day, but they were saying, Peter's going to print it and talk about it's like
probably Patrick, right?
Peter is like Madonna. Peter is like a one, or Prince. Peter's like a one word. Everyone like he's going to be a symbol next. They just know who he is when you say Peter. Maybe get Peter in Hail Salad. He's pretty iconic, Peter.
Yeah, I have to make sure that they say stuff that's good. Not that he does it, but like
he does.
Yeah,
he tweets and writes a lot of really solid wisdom. It's so great to have him around. Like,
yeah, I'm not.
I don't know if he says funny stuff on live streams or not, but he also doesn't really. He's not in the shows, I guess.
That's what it comes down to. It's like,
he's not on the show.
I don't want to force anyone. When I force people, no one wins.
So basically, I'm insisting that you include Peter somebody. No, you don't have to. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're right. You can't force anybody into it. If I ever say anything good, I could be a Camel Moon.
I'll put you in as my butler.
Yeah, I could be a butler or an accountant, something Jewish. People get upset. You can't do that, but I would think it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't really make a butler. I don't think, but
yeah.
All right. Very cool. That's the newsstand. Now, a Newsstand cover edition means, how is it Newsstand? It's just
Newsstand. It's a basic print. That's all. It's just a basic print, because at the time, I don't know if it's still there, but like we were doing a lot of hollow foil stuff.
Yeah,
majority of the books. Oh yeah, the majority of the books were hollow foil. So I just wanted to have like a basic one. But I think once we got to 600 backers, all newsstands got bumped up to hollow foil. So you're gonna get hollow foil no matter what.
So it's saddle stitch, a Newsstand, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means with staples, for those of us who don't stitch saddles. Some people don't. It's normal. Don't make me a butler. That's terrible. I'll find more funny things to say. Maybe more of the chill streams. We'll find a good character for me one day. I will earn my place. All right. Snogan virgin cover. So this is back before he ever had sex with a woman.
Yeah. It's very sticky.
So only 20 of these in existence.
That's all I'm making. There's just 20. And now
20 covers.
Now with Snogan and I working together, this is the premiere of our
your first collaboration.
Yeah. Imagine getting that signed
by you and Snoggy Doggy?
Michael Keaton.
Why would Michael Keaton sign it? Michael Anthony Keaton. I didn't know what his middle name is, but Wow. Does this say a 68-page prestige format virgin cover or 48-page?
Yeah, I was like, I hope it's 60.
No, so it's like when you get to the
Yeah.
age where you refuse to get glasses, then there you go. Everything looks the same.
There's gonna be a lot of blow ups in there.
Does that say AB page? No, it says 48 page.
Yeah, it's an ab page.
Wow, this is full boomer. Full boomer can't even
Yeah.
read. Oh, there you go. Make Pete a saint with halo shades. That's
No,
appropriate.
I could see that.
Pete isn't degenerate enough. Well, you could take things out of context, Earthmind. Believe me, that's what she said. So don't worry about that. Adam Post. When you force people, you got to bleach your hair and skip town. Adam Post. Oh, I thought you were quoting me. I was like, oh, it sounds like something I might say. Peter deserves godhood status in Hail Salad. Make him a benevolent character. Yeah, maybe, you have a couple of characters that are not degenerates.
Yeah, maybe he runs like a newspaper, like a space newspaper.
Space newspaper on newsprint.
Yeah, like that's why he's the publisher,
Mm-hmm. Newsprint. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah. Well, I know you have a whole list of to-do characters and stuff like that, but everybody loves him. That's all. And actually, what's interesting is he has a dedicated, good-sized following of Alterna people that would probably love it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun for them to get to see too. CG Heroes T-shirt. CG Heroes. Hail Salad. Oh, they're the CG Heroes. Okay, that's the premise.
Yeah. That's incredibly inaccurate. That's because I think all of them sold mostly through the add-ons.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of those that and actually there's more characters on it because I don't know if that design because you can't change photos in tiers or something once they're live.
Yeah, once it's live, you can't. Well, once one has been claimed, you could always hide it. You could even edit it. I think. Now this you could hide and just make a new one. Then you'll have to explain. This is the CG Heroes. It's a new design. It's not that only 2 people claimed it. It's that other people claimed it. Plus, there were add-ons, and we had to update the design. But if you feel like you have to say that, but you could just create a new tier, hide this old one, and then have whatever the design might be. But it's also too small for human beings to see anyway. Only bees with excellent vision could see that, I think.
Oh, I think there's a photo somewhere in the actual.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so once the design.
Why didn't you make a guy though? You should make some hot girl wearing it. They'll sell more copies.
I just know my audience,
I don't know.
I don't know if you passed it. I think it's definitely below. But
all your designs are great. So you can recognize Wenger even that tiny. Yeah, with the green dinosaur. He's got the coolest character. He's got a great character.
I'm not going to say who it is, but I finished him today.
Okay.
The character in the next episode is my all-time favorite design.
Oh, wow. All right.
I'm not even giving a hint, but
all right. You don't have to
seen him either. Nobody's seen him.
Okay.
Bandito, you haven't seen him. Bandito thinks he sees everything before everyone, but no one's seen him. But and I'm not telling. No one's going to know who or what is going to happen until the episode. This one's totally locked down.
This is incredible. This holofoil edition cover B with Ashcan of Ethan riding Wenger.
Yeah. That's 2 pictures there, right? So the holofoil cover is behind him. Then what's in front of him is the Ashcan.
Oh, that's the Ashcan.
Yeah, and that's actually a sticker book. And that comes with 4 sheets of holofoil stickers, and you can make your own little Mad Lib story.
Wow. That's great.
And that's actually, I think it's gonna be considered issue or technically episode number 0. So it takes place right after the comic and right before the first episode of the cartoon.
That's amazing. What a funny image. What a truly funny image. Yeah, well, you definitely put some time into making sure it's all interesting and iconic imagery. It's very cool.
And then this is the big
$1,200 burrito bowl salad.
I got an inheritance package here. Yeah, everything, every single thing that's been offered in the campaign. And should we offer more stuff down the road? I don't think we will, but if we do, it'll be included here. And every tier, every exclusive, 7 issues of the comic, the head sketch, all that, and so that comes out to whatever that price is. But The extra, whatever it turns out to be, $400 is because you get this here with it.
Is that an original interior art or is that a cover?
This is the original back cover that's going to be on the Prestige Format Edition.
Wow. Very cool.
And I did this for Inktober. It's 11 by 17, and it's the only piece of original art for the anything Hail Salad, because everything about the cartoon is done on the computer. There's nothing, even the comic, all the covers, they're all digital. So it's the only piece of actual work.
Well, that's fantastic.
So if there was an EMP and destroyed the planet, the only proof of Hail Salad will be that picture.
You wouldn't have to worry because you'd have that item.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That would keep you safe.
You could frame it. You could put it over the fireplace.
Guys, there are a few people that probably haven't backed Hail Salad yet. We should all back it viciously. We should back the hell out of it. And we should share this campaign.
Get it to 50 grand. 50 grand is a good number.
50 grand, and we'll just add some extra pages and everybody's happy. But yeah, it definitely deserves to be at 50 grand. What I'd like to do is play your latest video. I played the other day, and it's 6 minutes, but it's nonstop, like just great stream content. It's just great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's a lot of fun. And these are a tremendous amount of work to do.
This one is the longest. It took me 80 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like, and it's not 2 full straight weeks. It's like 3 weeks, while having a full-time job. So it's a lot of work.
It's worth it. Guys, check this out. It's really good. I didn't share the audio. I did.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
When are we going to talk about Pizzagate and get to the bottom of this?
What's Pizzagate?
I don't know.
What's your favorite kind of?
I like 7-Eleven pizza. 7-Eleven was an inside job.
Are you comfortable enough in your heterosexuality to give another man a hand job?
I could get into that, but I don't think I could pull it off.
Before you make any major decision, jerk off.
Yeah, joke out. He's down with the rave scene.
The highlight of my raving days, it was speed and crack. I'm going to go smoke some now. Hang on.
Like, do you ever hold eye contact while you reach climax?
Well,
Or do you, like, look away as you get a cold hand job?
You think you'd go through all this trouble just to fake it?
John, can you shut up for a minute?
Fuck you interrupting my story.
John, I'm sorry. Is there anything left for that boring story?
okay, so why not? Why do you think those questions aren't being asked? Chokeout knows. Emotions. If my grandpa fondled 8-year-olds,
He'd have lipstick. He'd have like a blonde wig. He'd have an Angora sweater and a tight skirt on.
he probably is enjoying cuties.
Oh, he look good.
I've met a bird on Tinder that's the tightest I've ever encountered.
All right, so I wrote down get Tinder.
What do you think, John Malen? Was your cheese pizza good? I heard it was really good this time.
Ethan has had a threesome before.
Well, that's only because he counts as 2 people.
You should have brought out a mirror and showed them how stupid they look.
Okay, would you rather suck a pizza-flavored cock or eat a cock-flavored pizza?
Good question.
Cecil's the kind of gay guy that says I'm not gay while he's got a dick in his mouth.
You think I'm gay? You sound just like my dad.
Cecil loves girls that look like boys. That's his type.
I like the Starlight Cat Strip Club.
I've been to a strip club twice in my life.
Cecil!
Frago was there. Dan Frago was there with me. And I got like 5 strippers to climb all over us at the same time.
All right, I'm sitting here bare-chested.
Very attractive young girls in it, right? But also it had like, mommies.
The word you're looking for is flavoring.
I got a 40-year-old with her hand on my balls. It was a little weird.
He used to be rich. He's not anymore.
We've all been there as men of pleasure. Anna, you're all right.
Are you a scissor sister?
Do strip clubs have sushi? Is that like a real thing?
Well, we tried to get Narwhal and Witten in here.
I like to get the three of them together.
Hello.
Welcome, Witten.
Absolutely incredible. And we're gonna sit here. I guess we're gonna dance.
I still do shows, but I just don't say no to things.
I know what you're talking about. That one where she's like in the Navy or whatever. She's like,
Kelsey, go play outside.
I expected to get half wolf before I saw a fucking whale with a unicorn horn.
I'm no expert on narwhals. I just go by the name.
What are we looking at here?
He's got a hemorrhoid coming out of his butt.
Get your money. Come on.
Can you imagine if you woke up and your cat shot diarrhea that said BLM on your wall?
For like violent retards. That's how they paint the wall.
What? I thought you guys all loved this Jenkum stuff.
Why would they blur that out?
You enjoy yourself, Witten.
I can hear music in my head, Cecil.
Yeah, I hear it too.
You know how many men have ever united over a piece of ass?
You know what? We should not be ashamed of the asses of beautiful women. We just shouldn't.
The power of the booty will unite us.
If you slap it, it'll jiggle.
My driver's license says on Twitter I'm gay with your dad, which most men find attractive for some reason.
Well, because the guy was kind of like a homosexual crack addict who defrauded all of Australia about a space program.
How could they even make a profit on that? Even Liza Minnelli is a huge gay icon, and I believe she married a gay guy too. I'm really good friends with Liza mechanic. He worked on my car in Nissan Central with his oily cock.
Sean just got sick of it.
All right, if I had the mic, listen, motherfuckers. It's okay to want the shame train. I get it.
He bought a dental dam, a box of condoms.
Oh, he's a lawyer.
Look at where I'm at. I'm fucking drunk wearing a Bubba Hett helmet.
Is he more up your alley than Narwhal?
No, Narwhal is more on my alley than this guy.
Would you harvest his children?
Yeah, probably.
I think this could be a love connection.
Throw the line to Narwhal.
Witten, do you like pheromones?
Yeah,
What about a sponge bath, man?
it's smart actually.
That's good. You don't want that mustard dick.
Anna, what are your thoughts on the gooch smell?
I'm just gonna laugh.
You never let a girl stick her finger in your ass.
See, that's the problem. Like, it's got to bleed into your dong.
Then they try and like touch your pussy with it.
I just wandered in here. I didn't know this.
Dale Salad, make sure you subscribe to the
Oh yeah,
radio
go to the
channel.
YouTube. We need more subs. That would be
We
good.
need subs on the YouTube. Camel Moon, subscribe. So this way you know when these things come out. I just saw it for the first time today. Narwhal hadn't seen it until he was on when I was playing it for him. So yeah, it's,
Oh, that was his first time seeing. I gotta watch that episode. That's funny. I didn't know.
yeah,
that.
he loved it. He loved it. He thought it was great. And Witten's a superstar. She's going places. She's great.
I wonder if they'll play it on Jack's show tonight. Then, because if she's gonna be on, I don't think she's seen it either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they ought to. They
Yeah.
ought to. Yeah, you would think if you were in a cartoon, like that's something you'd see. So, guys, everybody, back Camel Moon. Subscribe to Camel Moon on YouTube. It's very important. The higher the subs, the bigger the thrills. It's better for everybody. And also, like, there's a lot of tiers here. This stuff is really thoughtful. It's really creatively done. This is scheduled. When is this scheduled to ship? You're going to ship in
It was
February?
supposed to be February, March, but I'm actually moving to Florida with my wife that month. So,
Oh, congratulations.
yeah, thank you. We bought a house.
Wonderful.
So it'll now be pushed to, I think, in June, July.
July.
I mean, I'm trying to be realistic and optimistic, but I don't want to lie either. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
June, July. That's just a few months out. No big deal.
Yeah.
By then, God knows what the world will be like. We'll all be alive. So why not?
that's famous
Florida.
last words.
We'll all be alive. Should be going great. I'm anticipating great things now that we'll have a new administration probably, and that's going to be fantastic. But cheer yourself up with some Hail Salad. Subscribe to Channel Moon's YouTube. And the thing with Channel Moon's YouTube is if you just go subscribe now, you'll be able to see the previous ones. And it's very tight. He's an editing man. So there's a lot of good content in there. So you can kind of go back and look at the older episodes as well. And also, if you haven't already, check out my current series. What is my current series? College of the Dead and The Mermaids. Game of Thrones with mermaids, he says. It is. It's a big project. We spent a few years working on this graphic novel with a team, a couple different writers, an editor, all of these character designs that we did. There's a tremendous amount of work. And really, this was me getting back into comics. It was sort of like a therapeutic project of like, all right, I want it to be good. I want it to be like really thorough and really well thought out and really carefully done. And so it's all full scripted with rough layouts for each page. That's in the making of book. And we also have another 20 plus, as I like to say, don't like the plus, but at least 20 additional full page character designs that could be for a coloring book practically. But all these really, really cool black and white character designs. So that book is, it's fully funded now. It's in demand on Indiegogo, epicmermaids.com. We also have all of these character descriptions, additional content. We're making maps. We're going to have probably an additional 50-page PDF that we send out a month after the comic ships. It's got some spoilers. Yeah, it's got all this extra world-building content. There's so much material done because there was no deadline, and I just went nuts. I was like, well, let's do more of this. Let's do more of that. Because the thing is, you work with a lot of collaborative efforts too. Like once something is good and people are kind of doing well with stuff, you almost want to keep going, and just do more of it.
Yeah, you get excited and it motivates you.
I told this guy, Jerry Gatrudia, who designed this piece for me, I wanted to see, this is one of the first things I had done, a mermaid with daggers. There really wasn't much of a story, except she had to be pretty and like fantasy-ish. And, there really wasn't even much there. I think I knew I wanted to do Game of Thrones with mermaids, but there was nothing to a story even at that point. So once people start to make individual creative contributions, it can then kind of find its own momentum. Mm-hmm. And then like if Jerry had personal issues, which he didn't, but if like Jerry, like let's say could only do one or two pieces and then he had other commitments, then that would have turned the whole development for the whole thing in a whole different direction. But because he started doing such great work and he was available, I was just like, well, hell, I'm just going to have this guy keep continuing to do designs. Mm-hmm. And then as I brought the writer on, she started to suggest some ideas for some characters like this mermaid with the mask and I don't know if this was mine or hers. And it was very limited development to start with, like these 3 old lady mermaids that are part of it. It's just this whole world of characters. And that's why, like, for me, I love collaboration because, like there's always like a writer's block thing when you're creating your own thing. And then when you're working with other people and they're making contributions too, there isn't as much of writer's block. And like there's kind of like this endless enthusiasm for everybody to contribute something that they think is cool.
It's interesting. It's almost like doing a stream by yourself versus doing it with 4 people.
Oh, it's so much easier to stream with a few people.
Yeah, really, you do it by yourself. You're like, then this happened. But you do it with 4 people, you can't stop talking.
Billy, absolutely. Billy, you would be able to color. It won't be a separate coloring book. The making of book, you could color, just so you know. And I am talking with JJ, who does the production design, about doing a coloring book. Yeah, there's nothing like streaming with other people. It's very cool. For me, I had a lot of fun with like last year. Was it last year? Whenever it was that I was doing a series. Yeah, I think it was last year. I was doing Comicsgate Tonight, a series of one-on-one interviews with people. But like even this interview with you, like I actually learned a lot of stuff. It was very cool. And I love to learn stuff. I love to, you have one extra piece of information, another extra new piece of information. You kind of work it all into your overall knowledge and experience. So that's the other great thing about Comicsgate is like individually, we are just twigs, but together, obviously a bunch of what. And we complement each other. Exactly.
The order of the stick.
Sticks held together. All right. So definitely check out the epicmermaids.com. Appreciate the support of that. You can back it, share it, love it. And Hail Salad, that's what it's all about. Check out Hail Salad. And also go look at the Jack Show tonight. Witten's going to be on, and she may be seeing herself as a character for the first time, which would be hysterical.
I don't know. Sometimes I dread that. I'm like, oh, God. Like, sometimes people like it.
Never gotten bad feedback on it. Shane, right? Did Shane have bad feedback?
Shane liked it. I think the only one who did it was Ethan. He was like, I don't look like that. I'm like, no one looks like that. No one looks like anybody.
Oh, it's well, Cecil doesn't look like that.
Well, yeah, Ranger doesn't look like that. I mean, John Malen is not a hologram.
John Malen is not a hologram?
Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah.
Holograms can't get COVID.
That's yeah, that should have been a line. Holograms can't get COVID.
Oh, right. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's true.
Holograms can't get COVID.
Yeah, okay.
You can flip that.
But his dogs can, right? There's little like the other two dogs on his.
Soda has tested positive for COVID. What I'm saying is, you can clip that out of the stream, and you can have me say it off camera if there's no character done.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we're here to provide content.
Yeah.
We're all keep that in mind if you're in CG. You all exist to provide hail salad content.
Maybe I can make you a doctor.
My brother's a doctor.
Yeah, all right then.
Actually, he has like a doctor-y voice. My brother and I have like exactly the same voice. And this is how bad it is that if like I've heard him leave a voicemail before, I'm calling him, he's not picking up. We all know what a voicemail is. I'm listening to him like, this sounds like me. Like, but it's not me. He's a professional, so he's a doctor, so he speaks in more of that the crisp, direct, term. But he's very good, but very in color in the lines kind of guy.
Would you be upset if I put him in hail salad and not you?
My brother? How are you going to get recordings of my brother?
Oh, wait, I'm going to call him. I'm going to get his voicemail and just use that.
He was on one stream, actually, because I don't know why people don't do this. I had just Wenger and a couple of the guys on my stream, and I was like, I'm going to call my brother. And then we called my brother, and he loved the attention. He was having a lot of fun. So I think I put him on speaker. We were live on my brother on the phone. And it was Carl, I think, was like, your brother's funnier than you. We like your brother. Get him back. It's my best Carl impression. Lucky Charm.
Very good. I thought he was here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. He liked it, but yeah, we should be calling strangers and surprising them that we're on.
Yeah, Jerky Boys. Yeah,
we can do that. Well, I mean, you're right. That's Jerky Boys, but it doesn't have to be. This is like.
But I don't know. I'm like worried from like you can read that. That's fine. Go ahead.
No, Billy said, Corey, I'm trying to convince Adam to turn those character sheets into an oversized coloring book so I can start training the young ones around here to get into the comic book industry. All right, it's important. I don't know how much oversized it can be. I'll have to research. We'll do something like that. The problem is when you get into like, all right, now I'm going to do a new format. So we'll do a campaign for a coloring book, or maybe we'll do it. I guess if you're just doing it as an add-on, it's not that bad. But it's already like, I really want to just ship my book. And then you go on to the next project, and there's so many cool projects to do. Yeah. But for Billy, we have to look into it seriously. It's important. Camel Moon, you are a fantastic guest. You are a lot of fun.
Thank you.
A lot of
my
stuff.
wife says. My wife's like, you're a fantastic guest.
Is she patronizing you, or
get out of the bedroom?
I really mean it when I say it. I really mean it when I say it. When does the Jack show go on?
I guess I thought it'd be now. It might be in an hour. I am like, I don't know. Imagine being Witten though. Like you don't even know what hail salad is, and then like
she knows. She must have seen it at least once.
Maybe not. Imagine just waking up one day. It's like, yeah, you're in someone's cartoon randomly.
Wanted to be a wolf kitten. That was the whole thing, Witten.
If anything, I'm making your dream come true.
Oh, absolutely. How could she not like that? Who wouldn't like that?
I'm cautious. I'm always cautious.
Don't worry about it. She's of all things, a lady like Witten, I'm sure enjoys attention. So it's going to be just more attention, and it's validating. It's a good thing to be put into a cartoon. It's quite a compliment.
That's what we do here, Camel Moon. We compliment everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
so lovingly.
The first night that she was on, Cecil had apologized to her because he made some comment about a crack dance or something she was doing on Twitter. And they didn't know each other. And she said, hey, I'm just trying to make people happy. And he just reached out like a gentleman and apologized and said he was just sorry. He was just screwing around. Got her on the Jack show.
That was like the first episode she was on, I think, too.
Yeah, that was the first episode. And then and she was on it. I think she was in a recovery house at the time.
Okay.
I didn't even know if she could be on. If she was even allowed to be on.
That's kind of funny. Then.
I don't know. I'm like that. Like, I don't know. Just the the dad thing of just being like, I don't know if this is the right thing. Like maybe she shouldn't be on.
Yeah.
Like maybe she shouldn't. But anyway, she'll love it, guaranteed. If she doesn't, you let me know. I'd love to find out how she likes it or not, though. I'll
go watch tonight. I'll be in the chat if you guys are there. I didn't know. I kind of forgot they were going on. John said they were going to have me on last. They did a show. It was like Christmas. It's been a minute, so I don't know if I'll go on tonight. I'm a little tired, but if they ask me on, I might pop in.
Yeah, message them out. I haven't been on there in a long time, but I have to watch it more because I haven't seen enough Cecil, like not nearly enough Cecil.
Yeah.
So I need my Cecil fix. All right, guys, check out the Jack Show later. Back Hail Salad. Share Hail Salad if you've already backed it. That is a huge help. Subscribe to the Camel Moon channel. Oh, we should also subscribe and click the bell for notifications to my channel because I'm going to have more cool people on almost nearly exactly like Camel Moon. And Camel Moon, if you have time, would love to have you on again. We're going to start these kind of fun live streams.
Yeah, this was it was a lot of fun. I was glad to be able to say shit that I haven't said a million times in other streams.
Yeah, I don't know. I come at stuff from my own life,
Yeah.
But you're a great guest. It's great to have you. All right. Oh, what is Billy saying? Billy, you're important to me. Is that a real picture of you, Billy, or is that an illustration? All right. Anyway, Adam, you obviously know way more about publishing than I do, but at least with the coloring books, if you decide to make them, they're done on cheaper newsprint paper and can always be an extra. They can be an extra. There are too many pinups to not put them in some kind of a book. So we will. But the thing of it is I just want to make sure that we take care of the primary two versions that we promised, the making of book and the regular graphic novel, and that it all looks beautiful and well designed. And we're going an extra a full inch wider on the book. So like this is this is a better example. This is a normal for me anyway, like a 7x10. So it's going to go like an inch wider for the mermaids, so we can do the panels like really big.
Is it going to be hardcover?
No, soft cover.
Okay.
Perfect balance soft cover. But no, it'll be like 8x10, like an 8x10 photo.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be like a little extra wide, so the panels can be giant. So it'll be sort of like not treasury sized, but a larger format.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool.
Interesting.
Billy, I'm with you. We will do it. I'll probably have to do it on a Kickstarter for the coloring book or something like that, where people love coloring books. I'll do it for Billy. We'll do it for you, Billy. We'll get it done. Billy brings it up on stream, so it's like you gotta do it for Billy. All right, guys. Have a great night. Billy, thank you. Thank you so much for being with me, Camel Moon. Thank you, What About, and Corey, and Michael was on earlier, and all you cool guys. I really appreciate you. This was a great stream. You guys have an amazing night. I will see you again soon, and if I don't see you, I will miss you. Take care, guys.